Snackable, a few-minute podcast from Self-Access Center and VR Lab, Campus YMX Ecatepec. Have you ever wondered how many times you open the fridge a day, hoping to find something tasty and quick to eat? Picture how your English will be if you ate it in bites. Keep it simple, keep it short, keep it. Snackable, a place where broken English is welcome. Hello, Community YMX Ecatepec. Welcome to the second part of Roots, Destiny, and Decisions. Hope you enjoy this second part. Well, is what do you think is the hardest part of being an English language teacher?
Make them speak.
Yeah, making them speak.
Yeah,
I
and
remember,
listen.
yeah, that well, when you were my teacher, I remember that I see you. In the halls, and you were like, "Hello, Espe, how are you?" And I was like, "Oh my God, Teacher Marcy's coming!" And I was like, "Okay, what should I say?" And I was nervous. I have to be honest. But once I realized that it is part of the process to make mistakes, to mispronounce words, to sound funny and so on. It's like, okay, I am learning,
Yeah.
so I can make mistakes. And despite the fact that
Yeah.
now we are teachers, you're allowed to make mistakes as well as
Yeah,
you have in
definitely.
Spanish.
Yeah, even though well, as far as you are like confronting Spanish and English at the same time,
Yeah, exactly.
sometimes is normal
Mhm.
to mix up
Yeah,
some
for sure.
words, right? But yeah, that's something that happened with my students because they were shy or afraid or
Yeah.
nervous, like not being able to answer me in
Yeah.
a proper way. But I say, hey, never mind. Remember that you have to use your basic. It doesn't matter. I used to tell them, and I like to tell them,
Yeah.
you have to use your Tarzanian English. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. But the main important thing is that you try to communicate, and you must make them understand you. You have
Mhm.
to do it one way or another. And something that I really like, I apart from studying tourism and being
Yeah.
working in this touristic area,
Mhm.
when I got married, I decided to study
You decided to marry
English literature.
an American.
Yeah, I was really in love with an American
Yeah.
guy, and in fact, he came and asked to my parents that he
Okay.
wanted to marry me and all those things. But I was not very lucky in a way because at the beginning they were really nice and all those things, but they started to become very jealous and very
Okay.
possessive or
Okay.
obsessive
Toxic.
because of my way of being, because
Okay.
they say hello, I'm a teacher,
Yeah.
obviously. And also in this touristic part, I used to dance.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
remember.
used to do a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
things. So it's something that not everyone can deal with it.
Uh-huh.
And men were not able to deal with this kind of
Handle, yeah.
personality,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
And I say, well, never mind.
mhm.
That's the way I am, and I won't change. My dad, as a Mexican, was very he was raised under these machismo
Okay.
ideas, and he was quite impositor
Mhm,
and
mhm,
quite demanding. And I
mhm,
was the oldest daughter, right? I was the first child,
mhm.
so they were really strict with me at the beginning. So I said, never mind. I wanted to I wanted to study. I was living in Iowa for 2 years. I
Mhm.
was always confronting with El Paso and because I have a lot of
Yeah.
family. My mother's families, all the families in El Paso in Texas. So, but then when I wanted to prove myself, and I said, well, if I am American also, I want to live here. But
Mhm.
something that discover that is not the same being living in the board.
Mhm.
Yes, because Mexicans cross, American cross,
Yeah.
and you deal with them, and the dynamic is similar, like in Mexico. Living in United States in the north, I was living in Iowa, in Nebraska,
Mhm. Okay.
and because I really, since I was a little girl, I always enjoyed these American Indians history.
Okay.
So I wanted to know about them. So I was living in this triangle because it was Iowa, Nebraska, and Dakota.
Okay.
So, and they used to make the powwow.
Okay. Okay.
And I was confronted
Mhm.
with this, what I wanted to know,
Mhm.
what I wanted to see. And I saw the Sioux Indians, you
Mhm.
know, the, um, the Dakota Indians, the Cherokee Indians, and all of them, the Cross and the Blackfoots and all these things,
Mhm.
these tribes. And
Mhm.
every year they made a, a celebration, and all the Indians from all the nations, they come, the native Indians,
Mhm.
they come
Mhm.
and they celebrate, and they made they dress the typical dress. But if you are mixed from Sioux and if you are mixed from Cherokee, you have to
Okay.
use things that show that you are mixed, right?
Mhm.
And it was interesting.
Yeah.
But what I didn't like is I discovered a lot of things. I also discovered that if you were like related to the chief of a tribe,
Okay. Okay.
like Sid Bull, or I don't know what was the other one, like Geronimo, and
Okay.
all these ones, chiefs of tribes. The government is still sending a check
Okay.
every
Wow.
month
That's
to
interesting.
pay for
Yeah.
the land.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, because supposing that your great great
Yeah.
grandfather was a native Indian,
Mhm.
just because you are related to them,
Yeah.
they send you a check every month. The government, because they're still paying the land, and that's something that we don't know, right? I was not aware of it. I always thought that the British people that came in the Mayflower stole the land and killed the native Indians, and that's it, right? But I really enjoy history. And then when I when I got married, I married with a Mexican
Okay. Yeah.
because the one I was in love, he couldn't deal with my
Yeah.
personality, right? So
Of course, a Mexican could handle it. Could
in
understood.
yeah, in a way, because it's still this is sometimes I think that it was difficult, and sad, because it has to be like it has to deal with our freedom as women,
Yeah.
the way being free of behaving as you want,
Mhm.
being free as doing what you want.
You were a mermaid and you needed to be in the ocean, not in a
Yeah,
pool.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
was quite difficult, but
Yeah.
never mind. I got my kids. I taught them what it means to be Mexican American, and to really appreciate all the traditions and all the things that we have in Mexico. And that's something that I compare also. I wanted to see the museum of the Sioux, or the Native Americans, and when I went there, it was just old-fashioned house,
Mhm.
Victorian age,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and the museum was like all very pure, yeah, uh, poor in a way, because they didn't have as we have
Yeah.
in the Museum of Chapultepec, or as the Museum of the Antropología,
Mhm.
right? That we have a lot of things, even the penacho of
Yeah.
Moctezuma, right? No, it was just in one place
Yeah.
it was a tomahawk,
And that's
in
it.
another one was like a shoe, and in another one,
Yeah.
but pieces of things. But I was expecting
Yeah.
something else, so I really realized that they don't have a history,
Yeah.
right?
That we have.
And something that should be proud of having history in every single state of the
Yeah.
Mexican
Yeah.
Republic, right? And the gastronomy and the food and all these things,
The
we
people, the
is
culture, the
yeah, is
dishes.
proud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that we should be proud of,
Yeah, for sure.
and I'm proud of, you know. And then I decided to study. I did my exam at UNAM, and I went
Yeah.
to UNAM before I have kids.
Yeah.
and I studied English literature,
Mm-hmm.
and it was something for
And it
me.
is a compliment, right?
Yeah, and but it was different because I thought it was like I did my teacher's degree and I learned how to be a teacher and I got my how you call it ISELT,
All
because a
right.
long time ago it was like
The certification.
yeah, it
Right.
has another name.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I thought it was something related to it, but when I because even in the promo of the careers or the introduction of the careers or the description
Mm-hmm.
didn't explain us exactly what was their career about. And then it was really interesting because I have to see literature since the beginning of the humanity.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to deal with the Greeks, with the Romans,
Okay.
and then with
Wow.
all the
Yeah.
Latin American literature, and then that was the Tronco Común, as they call it, the 1st year,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to so, how can I say, to associate or to interact with the students from some other
Mhm,
careers
mhm.
like letras clásicas, letras alemanas,
Okay,
italianas.
okay. Wow.
So it was very interesting
Mhm,
because you
mhm.
met
It is, yeah.
a lot of people from
Mhm,
many careers.
mhm.
And then when the Tronco Común is done, you have to start focus on now I started with the English letters
Mhm.
and I start checking all the authors from
Yeah.
since the
Wow.
beginning of
Yeah.
the Middle Age,
Mhm, mhm.
right? Since Shakespeare, since a lot of them is and then I read one of these days I run on to an article that they were explaining that the careers from UNAM,
Mhm.
in specific, the ones from letras,
Yeah.
from filosofía and letras, they were some of the careers that they were the most rich in knowledge.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because you know about history, culture.
Yeah, and they are three specialities, you know. And I say at the beginning I wanted to become a translator and
Okay.
an interpreter,
Mhm.
but then as far as I already got the teacher's degree, I say, well, I cannot get. I don't want to deal with they call it oh, I will tell you in a minute. Let me remember.
Okay.
But it was crítica literaria, traducción, and is docencia, but they call it it has another name.
Okay.
But
Don't
I
worry.
didn't.
Yeah.
I said, well, already I'm a teacher, so one way or another, there's no problem, right? But during the career, you have to deal with crítica literaria
Yeah.
all the career. You have to read, you have to write essays, you have to write reaction papers, you have to write comments, you have
Mhm.
to do a lot of things, and then you choose one specialty.
Mhm.
And then I chose translation and also critic, literary critic because
Mhm.
you have to deal with it all the
Yeah.
time. But it's really very interesting, and it's
Wow.
a pity, that nowadays or on this part of the city or the
Okay.
state, they don't appreciate these kind of careers. They
Mhm.
just tag you as an English teacher and that's it. But I've been dealing with redacción. I've been dealing with análisis de textos in Spanish and English. So there's something that I can enrich
Mhm.
given these classes, but they don't. Nowadays, the study plans, they are not. They are very weak. They don't want the students become professionals, right? I
Yeah.
think our country wants to have just technicians.
Yeah.
They don't want to have professionals, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I
that's
see your
why
point.
all the study plans they have changed and they have taken out a lot of subjects and a lot of things. So, but never mind. But one of our responsibilities of being a teacher is to try to transmit them
To
all
share
these
the
things,
knowledge.
yeah,
Yeah.
and to motivate them to keep on
Yeah.
studying and doing things, and to
Wow.
travel to another
Yeah, yeah,
countries,
yeah, for
right?
sure.
Yeah.
I didn't know all of this. I mean, as I was saying, well, now we are colleagues and so on. But I mean, thank you for sharing all this experience that you have and the knowledge that you have. And also, I think, as you were saying, you have a lot of knowledge that students deserve
To
to
know,
know these
yeah,
things.
to be sure.
And also that you are very open to share your story. So
Yeah. I've been dealing. Even I used to, I used to dance since I was a
yeah,
little girl
yeah.
because they that's something that my parents wanted me to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in academy since I
Yeah.
was a little girl, like 6, 7 years, and I learned to dance a lot of things like jazz, flamenco
Yeah.
dance that I really enjoy it. But Mexican folklore dance, and
Mm-hmm.
I danced Mexican folklore dance for many years.
Mm-hmm.
I dance in the Casa de la Cultura here in Ecatepec, but also they invite us to dance
Festivals
with
or
the Compañía de Bachilleres,
okay, okay.
and also they I did my how can I say, my my cast in with
Okay.
Amalia Hernandez.
Okay, okay.
And but as far as I had a dad that was very strict
Yeah.
and machismo in a way, he didn't let me to be in the compañía de danza de Amalia Hernandez in the one that
Mhm. Mhm.
travels.
Mhm.
He says that they have a lot of problems, and they that he heard that one day they didn't have money and they were in Europe,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
the girls had to work in things in order to to get the money to return.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, this and that. And I said, that, but it's not true. Or if supposing it's true, but I can deal it.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to. And then I stayed in La Compañía de Amalia Hernández in La Residente for a month, I think
Mhm.
so. But as far as living in Ecatepec is it's a sacrifice, because in Mexico City you have a lot of things to do, a lot of
Mhm.
things to go. But living here, it was quite difficult because you have to commute,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? You have
Yeah.
to get the bus, you have to travel, and I used to came home very late, and my
Mhm.
dad was like, "It's not possible.
Mhm.
How do I know that you um, doing all those things? And what if
Mhm.
something happens to
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
and things like
You
that?"
have
And
to deal with all of that.
finally, I have to quit.
Mhm.
But it was like
But somehow, in a way, you try it. You.
yeah. And I
Mhm.
was not like frustrated
Mhm.
because I said I was good on it. But never mind. It was you learn to live with
Mhm.
your limitants,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And when I got my kids, it was the same. I wanted to teach in Tunam,
Mhm.
but then my kids were well, my the first one was a baby, and I said, well,
Yeah.
going to Seoul is like crossing
Yeah.
all the city, and I used to return very late. And I
Mhm.
say, no, never mind. I stay at 1 a.m.
Mhm.
and I will try to share my best.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And
And
do your best.
and
Mhm.
it would be nice,
Mhm.
right? To because I remember that I had a teacher at UNAM that he was British, and he
Okay.
came to from England,
Mhm.
and he used to tell me that he crossed through El Paso walking,
Okay. Okay.
through El Paso, Texas walking, and he married with a Mexican from Veracruz.
Okay. Yeah.
And when he was my teacher, we used to to get along very well
Mhm. Mhm.
and to get fun of make fun of us, and we used to laugh a lot, and always at because I have to stay there for when when we didn't have
Mhm.
like all the complete classes because it was difficult to return and then
Yeah.
going back. He used to talk to me and he told me his history or his stories and
Mhm.
a lot of
Those
things.
talks,
Yeah,
interesting talks.
and it was great. And I was really glad
Mhm.
and grateful that this teacher wanted to come to Mexico and try to transmit all his knowledge to all
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
students.
Mhm.
And he was one of my motivation to be
To become a teacher.
yeah, no, to
Oh.
to work here
Mhm.
and to transmit my students all the
Mhm.
things. Yeah, the I think the being a teacher, I had this gift since I was a
Okay.
little girl
Okay.
because I used to play like
Mhm. Yeah.
that I was the teacher.
Mhm.
And also I used to teach dance. I used to teach many kind of things.
So what
So
you
it was
picture when you were a
difficult.
child
I said
becomes
that
the reality.
when because we used to go because the hacienda of my great grandfather is still there.
Mhm.
So we used to go very yeah almost always
Okay.
on Saturdays because my dad he kept the ranch of his father.
Mhm.
So is the hacienda and crossing the tracks from the train it starts the ranch of my dad.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's why we didn't move to United States one way or
Okay.
another. And my dad didn't want us to be raised in the United States because he said that in Mexico the boundaries are very tight.
Mhm.
That we have these links between family,
Yeah.
yeah, sons and parents. And in United States, you become
It's quite
18 and you
different.
have
Mhm.
to go out from your house
Mhm.
and because of the school. It's not
Mhm.
because they don't want to. But
Yeah, but it's different.
this
Mhm.
tradition makes them to be not aware of their kids and also um, drugs have been
Okay.
very usual
Yeah, I see your point.
in the
Yeah.
families, you know. So my dad didn't want us to be confronting to this
Mhm.
kind of
Traditions and culture
yeah, or to
and
this culture,
lifestyle.
yeah, one way or another. We are related to them. We know the culture, but like being, as I told you, being living in the border, and I have all my relatives, sorry, and siblings that they have born in United States, but they live in Mexico
Yeah.
because it's better in one way or another, and you can control your
Yeah.
kids.
Okay.
So all my nephews and nieces they have studied in United States, but they live in Mexico,
Yeah. Okay.
and they are Mexican Americans. And
And I think
nowadays
they are
they
taking advantage
yeah,
of
when they
each part
grew
of
up,
the
they
culture.
decide
Yeah. Yeah.
if they
Yeah.
want to live in Mexico or
Mm-hmm.
if
Or
they want to
mhm.
go to
The
United
United
States.
States.
But they have been raised with a lot of values,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of a lot of respect for the family and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of respect for themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I wanted to do with my kids
Yeah.
also. They I show them the way because they are Mexican
But at
Americans
the end, they
also.
decide.
But I say study so that you can
Mm-hmm.
have benefits in that place or here
Mm-hmm.
and go ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's quite difficult because I love my kids, but I
Yeah.
say it's time for them
To
to
decide.
fly.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure.
Yep.
Wow.
That's my
Teacher
story.
Marce, thank you for sharing this story. I think it is quite interesting. Thank you thank you for sharing. I think our community deserves to know this kind of stuff. You know, your passion, uh, how much you have worked, and of course the abilities that you have as a dancer, as a teacher,
Yeah,
as a
and
reader, and
we keep on updating.
yeah.
I really enjoy teaching, and I always search and read for new strategies
Mm-hmm.
or something to motivate the students. Even you
Yeah,
have to
because
be
also generations are changing, and the
yeah
way we learn is
yeah you
quite
have to be
different.
updated even in
Yeah.
all the music. You have
Mm-hmm.
to be updated in the what is in fashion right
Mm-hmm.
now, like K-pop, like
Technology. Yeah, for
K-dramas,
sure.
technology, music. Yeah, the way they dress, the way
Yeah.
they think, a lot of things, so that you can make a link with them, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But I really enjoy it, and thanks for the invitation.
No, thank
I
you.
really
I can
appreciate
see
it.
I can see your passion, not only as a teacher but also as a woman, as a mother. So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that part of you that nobody knows.
Yeah, yeah.
That
It's
it can see
difficult.
that
Yeah,
it can
we don't
see.
have the.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's not all the students get closer.
Yeah, for
and
sure
try
too.
to know more about the teacher,
Yeah.
right?
But I think that this episode, our community is going to enjoy it. And thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Community YMX Ecatepec. See you next episode.